dinosaur being inside of this thing.
Yeah.
I feel like a dad just like downloading Skype.
Yeah, this feels like talking to your parents in the first week of college.
Yeah, exactly.
How are you doing? Have you been eating enough food?
I get those vibes. What are you waiting for?
Nothing. I was just collecting my documents.
I have all the
So, should we do an intro to the
Oh,
show?
it's recording. That's right. Alright, yeah.
I had this song planned for the intro.
Oh, I like this one. That's a good
Do you ever recognize this track? Do you remember, do you know why I'm playing this? Did you look at the document? You don't know where this is from? Well, okay, I'll pause it. I know you were into Leo Dicaprio. He was,
let's go.
Oh, the beat!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that song was from the Beach soundtrack, and yeah, the beach from the beach is in the news because they're closing it down because there were too many tourists trying to live like Leo.
You think that was why?
That's exactly why. This is the news from The Guardian. It's the link to the document. Leo DiCaprio's The Beach ruined.
They said that it was up to 5,000 tourists a day sometimes.
Wow. I'm upset I never was one of them. I'll never be able to see Leo. Why didn't I ever go? Huh?
I recently rewatched it because I remember how dank that beach was, and I was like, was it that cool? And I rewatched it, I was like, yeah, it was. And everybody wants to see that reality because it is the paradise on earth. That's why they had to keep it a secret. That's why Tilda Swinton needed to keep it a secret.
Oh my
Tilda's
God.
always right, first of all.
People are gross. I mean, it's kind of just like, when in like Central Park, they'll or like any park in New York, they'll quarantine certain patches of grass to make it grow again because people just sit on it all the time. So I feel like that's what they're doing.
Yeah, it's like that on a big scale, but coral doesn't grow very fast. That's a lot. Grass grows pretty dang fast compared to coral.
Did they find a lot of trash?
Here's a quote. Thanks to pollution from litter, boats, and sun cream.
Oh, no.
It's estimated that around 80% of the coral around Maya Bay has been destroyed. That's where it is. It's in Thailand. Did I mention it's in Thailand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Green.
Very good motherboard journalist Sarah Emerson was tweeting about a year ago about how in Hawaii they actually have sunscreen that doesn't kill the coral.
Oh, yeah.
The rest of the industry is nah, we don't care. Fuck it.
Wow. I've literally never heard of that problem as being a problem until recently. Maybe last month I heard they did a report on it and everybody was like, what? I never thought sunscreen polluting the waters. You feel stupid because it's obvious. There's zinc and lead in it, I don't know.
Yeah. You just thought it was not a really significant amount because it's pretty lightly on your skin, but
then multiply that by thousands upon thousands of people at the beach. It's bound to happen. Yeah, it's a little
just the idea of 5,000 people's bodies in the beach.
But yeah, I wanted to start a sunscreen company called Star Cream.
What was that?
Just over the last year, I've been thinking about it because I don't really like a lot of sunscreens. I'm pretty particular about the scents and how strong they are, and it's just cool that we're actually being burned by our own star or by a star,
Oh, okay. That's the thing.
This is sort of just me putting my feelers out there. If there's any investors that want to invest in Star Cream, it blocks. It's better than all the sunscreens for some. Imagine Elon Musk designed a sunscreen, and that's what this is.
Who said? What's gonna make it that?
We're just all hype right now. We're just living a dream. There's no real products or anything yet.
Yeah, speaking of a dream, I am literally what I was doing earlier is reading a book about how to kickstart products. So
Whoa.
We could come back to that maybe on a different cast, but
Whoa, maybe on
Am I on
FBO
the
or
right?
something.
Am I on the right track right now? Weaving a dream.
Weaving a dream. That's what you got to do. That's actually what he says. That the key to a good Kickstarter is a good story, and that's true.
It's
Like
true. It's not.
100%. I was just about to say, since you said that you're reading that book, that's really all you need. Because I was going to ask you if the Star Cream name had anything to do with the story, and it sounds like it doesn't. So
it's aspirational.
Exactly.
In the same way that like all Elon Musk's
it's not conceptual. It's just it's aspirational, and that's all you need.
To give you a sort of space age feel that this is like a scientific product. This isn't like a nerdy thing that you have to put on when you go to the beach. This is a scientific product that you're blessed to be living in the time.
You're gonna have to go with luxury. You're gonna have to say it's a luxury product, and I just like stitched all your things together.
Yes,
in Hollywood. I'm in marketing. What can I say?
It's a luxury sunscreen.
Yeah. Because the stigma is that sunscreen's embarrassing. It's
it's like if you have to use it, you're a nerd, you have bad skin,
This is like Kim Kardashian wearing Star Cream.
How many 90s movies were there that were making fun of like awkward dudes by having like the sunscreen on the nose? Like a whole like handful of sunscreen on the nose?
All of them.
We gotta make sunscreen.
That's a great, I believe in it already.
Here's a question. What if you just dyed the sunscreen like different skin colors so that it didn't look so ridiculously white when you put it on?
Is that dyed or is that just the absence of dyes?
I got the solve. I got the product solved. I solved the whole entire thing.
Hit it.
Okay, so, because in the 90s, they were like, this one's purple, this one's green, and it was, like, really cool.
For kids,
Well, this one has glitter in it, and then that's what makes it luxury, because it's not, like, kids glitter, it's, like, bronzer. It's, like, you look beautiful. You know how, people do, like, the glow-up? It's the glow-up sunscreen.
I've got a better idea.
What?
Shimmer Star.
It's based on your idea. Instead of little flecks of glitter, they're little solar panels, and it's collecting energy, and you can charge your phone.
That's the Elon Musk tie.
Yeah, that's the Elon Musk.
Wait. Let me build on this. You use that reflective material that they put in like safety vests, and you just are blinding to everyone around you. It's just you're just shooting light in every direction.
So it also is kind of like a safety mechanism.
Yeah, it's like
You're like an ephemeral being, just like shining on the beach.
It's like anti-photographic thing too, like anti-paparazzi thing, because like every camera you just look like a whiteout object.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
excellent. Also, what the scientists will find out, like 20 years down the line, is that it's blinding sea creatures when people. You know how like
sea turtles are like following you around when they're not supposed to go to the sea,
and like the jellyfish and stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be problematic, but it's okay.
Every single thing is like that. People are like, wind power is the power of the future, and then like 2 years later, they're like, all the birds and bats are definitely dead. They're super dead.
I was super bummed out to find out about that. It's
Things a horrible meat grinder. You're like, oh no.
Yeah, bats were like exploding.
Geothermal. Unfortunately, we went down there, we tapped into the deep earth, and we found the reptilian underground, and we weren't allowed to build any deeper because that's their land.
Wait, is it geothermal or is it something else where people are using it, but it like the more we take out, the more it makes like the topsoil and everything like start collapsing?
Could be fracking.
Definitely fracking. No, definitely fracking.
I didn't know there were any downsides to geothermal other than like just not everybody has access to it.
Do you guys know that there's the newest Alphabet's company is a geothermal company?
Nah.
Oh.
I forget. We just covered it the other day, but they out of the like Google X Labs or Alphabet X Labs, their new highest rated X Lab project is a geothermal project. I can find it really quick.
Whoa. So they must have made some sort of agreement with the lizard people.
Whoa.
It's a deal we've all got to make
Sense.
sometime.
That in itself is news.
Ooh, and
Because
even
they've never signed any agreement with any country.
That,
it's called Dandelion.
I hate that, but I love that so much.
I know.
Like,
Exactly.
I want to work at Dandelion.
But it sounds like I don't know if you guys have watched Maniac, but it sounds like one of those like corporate projects where they're like hybridizing humans and aliens and.
Definitely.
Oh, you think it's something different?
You think it's dark. It's gonna be dark with a name like Dandelion.
Was it name like Dandelion? That's like the Cloverfield project. Like
yeah.
When the world is effed, like totally, like in 100 years or less, geothermal will be there for us.
That's true.
That's like the one thing. Like wind might be different. Solar is definitely going to be different, I think. But geothermals.
For those that are not that familiar with geothermal energy, can you give a little bit of like a descriptor and differentiator?
You just tap down. You just drill down deep, and you tap down into that natural earth warmth, and then you just run shit off that. I don't really understand how like you just like get the raw heat and turn it into energy, but
I think you.
Is it from the compression of
they pump water down through it, and then the warm water.
Steam?
It creates a convection, and then that's how they do it.
That can't be good. That can't be good.
Yeah, I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens when everyone's backyard has this like dipping down into like the magma of the earth.
Yeah, there's no way. Like, what if like everything just becomes like bubbly, and then we just get used to like, you know how giant bridges like during like a crazy storm will like wobble? That's gonna be like all of the earth after everyone's used to using geothermal energy.
Man, that's a good watch on. That's a good watch on.
I just think we're not really going that deep. I don't think I think it's like relatively shallow.
I'm just exaggerating. You're not dipping a straw into the magma milkshake of the earth, but.
Do you guys want to move on to?
Yeah.
Okay. So, long story short. We like to think dogs, this is from a Popular Science article, but like everybody's been talking about this because it's like everyone wants to say dogs are super smart. They're actually pretty regular, but it's just like basically they break it down into like a video game stat. Like dogs score high on a couple different levels of intelligence, but in all of those individual categories, there are other animals that are way smarter, but they just score in these categories that are like, oh yeah, those are the qualities that we like in dogs.
And I think that the underpinning is that like because humans have such close proximity to dogs,
Absolutely.
we sort of have a bias to think that they're way smarter than other animals, but like
absolutely, it like frustrates me so much when people like think like, oh yeah, dogs are so smart, but meanwhile they have no idea how like smart dolphins are, or crows, or rats, or squids, or elephants. Like, or any, like, well, they're not all of them, but like apes in general. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you guys talked about the octopus MDMA thing last time, right?
Like, I'm pretty sure that they say that squids are like smarter than dogs by a lot.
I don't know if squids are.
And pigs too. I think so.
Do cuttlefish.
New Caledonian crow, that was like our favorite crow for a very long time.
That's a great crow.
That's
probably my favorite crow.
It is.
Pick a fave.
It's my favorite crow. But like it's smarter than your dog. I'm sorry. It can solve puzzles.
Man, I used to have one of the dumbest dogs in the fucking world. Like that dog, my dog Checkers when I was a kid was fucking dumb as a box of rocks. Like that beagle. So it had just rained and I was walking him down the street and he couldn't help himself and he was licking the like rainwater off the side. I'm not kidding about this. He stepped onto his own tongue and like flipped forward. Like I was like, dude,
dumb thing
but
like that.
who's to say that
That's true.
What'd you say?
I just what I was gonna say, like people do things just as dumb as that. I feel like dogs' intelligence is as variable as humans' intelligence. I've met some dumb as hell dogs, and I've met some dogs that I'm like, whoa, you're like a wise person.
Yeah, I mean, also it's not dogs' fault. Also,
they talk about that. They talk about the sort of domestication angle of
And who's to say too that dogs can't be mentally ill? I've seen a Down syndrome dog before.
I've never seen that.
They kind of look like Downs, like same sort of.
I had no idea that was cross species. I didn't know that was even possible.
I've seen it. Like in an article, not like in person. So like the article was about that. Yeah.
I'm gonna get a Shiba Inu, which is the hardest, most difficult, shittiest breed you could possibly get.
Why would you want that?
Oh yeah, I know those.
Because they're
like
beautiful. No, those are oh god, I know what you're talking about. The big fluffy white ones.
Yeah.
Oh, those things are great.
Shiba Inu. Let me take a look at this.
They're the Doge. It's the Doge.
Oh, the Doge dog? Are those really hard to take?
Why do you
they
want the Doge dog?
Because they're beautiful. They're just beautiful.
Do you think if someone has the Doge dog, that's like the only conversation they ever have about their dog?
About Doge? I would distance myself from the meme as far as humanly possible.
You can't. Like, when you're walking your dog, people are gonna yell at you. It's the Doge dog.
Oh, telling me this dog's hard to take care of, though?
Yes.
It looks low maintenance. He looks like a sensible dog.
Just put into YouTube Shiba Scream.
Okay. It's okay.
It's not too bad.
Is she done?
Hold on. Hold on 1 second.
I've lived with birds.
Oh my god.
That's the dog.
I mean,
You don't want to do that.
that is funny.
Alright, let's go to this, I want to know about this bird helmet.
I gotta be honest, like, when I finally read all of the things about this study, so, here, I'll read the title of it. It's basically, this title is Songbird Data Yields New Theory for Learning Sensory Motor Skills. It's like, I really wanted to love this article. because it has an experiment where they make a bird wear headphones, and then they make it, like, it wears these tiny headphones, you can see the picture in there, and then they would make it tweet for a while and just give it the regular sound from a room, but then they eventually started pitching up what it heard, so it would be like, beep, but then it would hear back, beep, so like a little bit higher, you know,
That's
half
so
a note.
rude.
And they did that, and then they would see how long it took it to, like, correct, like, sing. So if it was pitched up a little higher, it would sing a little lower so that it heard what it was used to hearing.
That's
The song, the way it was used to hearing. And so they're just like,
That's a lot of things, though.
They said that weird thing, the significant thing about this study, which I was, like, trying to understand, they're like, there's, like, a window in which you hear it is wrong, and you, like, correct it, but, like, then like, I don't really understand. It was like we thought it was like a bell curve of like a zone that you were looking for, but it's actually a bigger zone. It's kind of the most boring thing I could ever. It's like a math problem for like just understanding how things learn, and I guess that's good.
That's cool. That's cool.
I mean, science is.
It was just like I was telling you. I was looking at graphs, and it was I watched like a 20-minute long presentation.
We're not a pop science show. We're a real science show. So
it was just hard to understand.
Some boring articles, and you're gonna have to deal with it.
We comb through the graphs for you guys. That's what we do here.
They're cool graphs. There's a picture of a bird wearing headphones. I looked for video, couldn't find it. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, we'll show you the picture. I mean, if the only thing you can appreciate about this article is this picture, here you go.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Maybe go into the asteroid one?
Oh, wait, so the first thing I want to say about this asteroid one is how hilarious it is that it looks like they're just landing a PC case on an asteroid.
Oh man, yes, you're right.
Just like a straight up like bare bones PC that they're just like landing on a rock.
That's really funny. Wow.
It's cool though, like this video.
Yeah.
Really sold it to me because like it's like some Tron soundtrack type music.
Oh boy.
But this has been what's going on here? So we should probably just say what's
yeah.
Japanese spacecraft drops box-shaped robot on asteroid's surface.
But its name is Rover A1 and Rover 1B.
No, that was the first two robots 2 weeks ago. So weeks ago, two robots landed 2 weeks ago. This is the third bot. Its name is Mascot. And it only had like 16 hours of like battery or something. I think it's already dead. It just had like a limited amount of hours to.
God, we're really bad at this.
Experimentation.
They should have brought a battery brick. Come on, guys.
They said it lasted. I looked at their tweets and they said it lasted longer than they thought it was going to.
Oh, nice.
So be
Where
honest.
did it say where this asteroid was? Like, where is it?
It's rotating around. I mean, it's just like flying around the sun.
Close by? Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be close by.
If you watch this video, it was started in 2014. It was like riding around with the Earth for a while, and then it shot off, chased this asteroid down, and landed those other two rovers on. It's landed the one yesterday, and it's got one more thing to do, which the crazy thing that it's going to do third is it's going to throw some explosives at the surface, blow it up a bit, fly back around, stick its like space wiener into the hole, suck up some contents, and then
it's space proboscis is going to dip right in there.
And then if you watch the video, it says exactly what it's doing.
We send up a metal mosquito to just like take a little sip of this asteroid.
Skip ahead of the guy.
I mean, is it looking for like sediments and rocks and like?
Okay, yeah. So it's me and Evan were doing some chatting about this. I was looking around the YouTube conspiracies around this. What's the real purpose of what is this mission called?
Hayabusa 2.
Not so much science. It's really all about money after all.
Good thinking.
Welcome to What the Matter.
So this guy, and me and Evan, we immediately agreed with him, hearing like 5 words of what he had to say. It's about mining.
To test future technology for mining this asteroid.
Because there's this app this guy pulls up. He's like, everyone who just like an asteroid head has this app.
Known as Asteroid. This is actually a community of scientists and financially savvy people that keep track of pretty much every newly discovered asteroid.
And if you look at like what asteroids are easy to get to versus like how much money you could make if you mined it, this was the first choice, so that's why they did it. And so there's just basically like just a survey mission, checking it out, deciding how they just want to extract that shit. And
what are they looking for? They don't know yet?
I think just the prospect of mining asteroids is completely new. So I guess just like, this is a scientific mission, but I think at the same time
prospecting.
It's prospecting.
So you guys and everyone in the audience should watch a little motherboard documentary that they put out like 2 or 3 years ago from a motherboard under Vice. And it was all about space mining. And like it's a good idea. Like some asteroids are just like chock full of diamonds. They're just like
that's what I was
diamonds.
trying to get at. Like it's not only just like rocks and stuff. It's like we don't know what we're gonna find, and like there's probably a lot of really precious stones in there. And then gold, like the metals also, not just
all the
rock.
weird metals that we're killing people to get for iPhones and shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, hopefully. It makes sense.
It's like, I guess like a cynical take is like, this is not a science mission, this is a mining mission. It's like, well, like
it kind of is. And if you ask Neil deGrasse, the only thing that will ever get us further and further into space is capitalism, is having some sort of
amen.
As some sort of end goal, a monetary, that's what he says, and he doesn't like it, but he's like, hey, we haven't really done much since, and look what was the biggest
Neil needs to believe, Neil needs to, hire the bar. He needs to think higher of people. Somebody like him.
I know, but, he's actually talks about that a lot. He, really is just like, you know what, I feel like he has the broken spirit about it a little bit, so maybe it'll take just one little thing to turn on his spark again.
Maybe it's this show right now.
Oh, I hope so.
This is your time.
Neil,
just do it.
Let me just tell you,
Dr. Tyson?
Dr. Tyson, I have to tell you that maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I actually drew you a picture and sent it to you on Twitter on your birthday. And I was like so hoping you would like give me a shout out or something. You never did, and that's okay. But if you do end up watching this, I gotta let you know.
Just looking back at the archive, Dr. Tyson.
The other cool thing about those robots, did you see how they move around the asteroid?
With the hops,
Yeah.
little.
This video is seriously awesome. It shows like they just like swing around a little like weight on the inside, so it's kind of like they move like the way your iPhone vibrates,
Whoa.
like just whomp. And so the gravity's so low it doesn't take much.
This is so crazy. Just how much math had to go into this, like getting an asteroid on, or getting a bare bones PC onto an asteroid.
Yeah. Who do you think is paying for these space probes? Who's like paying for like?
It was Japan and then France and Germany. This is a joint mission.
Well, the other thing that like a lot of people don't know about when it comes to SpaceX and like Tesla and stuff is that like SpaceX takes a lot of grants, a lot of financial grants from the government, and so but like this is just how sort of like the science community works. It's true, but when it comes to Elon and his unlimited Twitter fingers, just remember that we all pay for that.
And so that means like we paid for him to advertise his stupid car in space on that Mars thing.
That is 100% correct. That's 100%
for his advertising campaign to market back to us, and that's a wrap. And that actually happened.
R.I.P.
We bought Grimes's Brussels sprouts. I don't know if there's anything else to say about that. I mean, it's gonna come back in 2020. Guess we'll see it then.
Alright.
It's gonna drop the contents off in 2020 in Australia. Inside a little clamshell. Golden clamshell.
So, Ryan, what did you think about the story that I sent you?
I skimmed it. I was hoping you would break it all down for me.
Yeah. So, the title is, "This Absolutely Tireless Researcher Made an Important Breakthrough for Cancer Patients." And the subhead is, "After months of looking at dead cells under a microscope, Theo Roth finally glimpsed what he had been hoping to see, flickers of green. His method was working." So, this guy is working at Alex Marson at the University of California, and he has essentially developed a better method for making customized T cells, and those are the immune system cells in your body. And it's been like we've been customizing T cells to target cancer, but the problem is that they're so difficult and expensive to make that sometimes it can take almost a year to get a customized treatment. And it's this thing. This is like when you go in for one of these treatments, it has to be customized to your DNA.
Right.
His method allows them to make new T cells or customized anti-cancer T cells in the span of a couple of weeks or months.
Whoa.
And that's a huge deal.
That's extreme. What is that branch of medicine or like study called? It's
immunotherapy.
Immunotherapy, but also just the fact that it's like specified, individualized medicine. I don't know, but like
I don't know. Individualized medicine makes sense.
Like that's like a thing, and it's new.
Yeah, I've heard it like just called like boutique or something.
Yeah, but like right now, everybody just gets the same thing. Like that's why, like a lot of the research that is done in science in general is based on like it's mostly like they test a medicine on a subject that was like a white male, and then like all of the medicines are, because that's just like what the norm is, and so like a lot of different nationalities and stuff aren't really considered in scientific research just because like a lot of the studies come out of like the West or whatever, so like America and the UK. So I guess specialized medicine, I hope that I'm using that right, is like a very like new and difficult thing that is like, I guess this is a great example of how it's like really popping off now.
Well, it's just it's really better on like such a number of axes. Like, for example, just the fact that like they specifically designed these T cells, and they say in this article that you don't need very, like, they don't need to make a lot of this for you, because the T cells in the article, they said the T cell, so they injected some human cancer into a rat, and then they injected these specialized T cells, and what they found was that those T cells, even though they were foreign T cells, went directly after the cancer. And so what that means is that, like, your treatment is going to be so much less damaging to your body, because, like, you're practically killing yourself with most of the cancer treatments that are out there already.
Yeah.
Wait, so this is a thing where it's like it's an individualized treatment, like each whatever medicine is like particular to each person.
That's right. Well, what they do is they what they're talking about in this article, this new method, they essentially found a bunch of ratios where they'll cultivate your T cells, and then they'll shock them with a little bit of electricity and that makes the cell membrane on the outside a little bit more permeable. And then they found a new method of injecting large DNA chunks. The problem that they had is that, like, when you're injecting a lot of DNA in there, oftentimes the cells just die because it doesn't happen perfectly. But in his new method, they found, like, the right type of electric shock, the right ratio of DNA length, and now they can get a yield of like 1%, which, you know, sounds really small, but also if you have a big old glob of T cells that you've cultivated, 1% might be all you need.
So they take your T cells, they Frankenstein some other stuff into it.
Yeah, they use CRISPR. They use electroshock and CRISPR. Yeah.
Wow.
And then just make it a cruise missile for cancer.
If you're glitching out in your own specific way, if you know what cancer, I understand what cancer is. It's like everyone glitches in their own very unique way, and so you need a very unique solution. So yeah, it's cool. I hope cancer's gone soon. You know, I hope it's not a problem at some point in the near future.
I'm stoked. But the problem is that, like, we'll have like the first generation of like good cancer treatments, and it's gonna have some, like, it's gonna be weird, and it's gonna be like 2 or 3 generations until they're like, yeah, we're fucking done with cancer. Don't get me wrong, I'll be happy when I'm like 60 years old and they're like, we have like a pretty good way of getting rid of cancer. I'm like, I will take it. I'm not complaining.
It's weird. It's just like cancer's not really like, it's not a disease. It's just like a malfunctioning. It's like, it's not really like, it's like a situation.
It's like not really cells where like your cells start like thinking that they are the enemy, and so they like.
There's no face to it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, no, it's not a contracted disease. Almost everyone gets, like, if you lived an infinite lifespan, you would definitely have it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like, it's a glitch.
And if that doesn't get you, then the flu will.
I was just gonna segue into flu, because that was actually something that people were talking about a lot this week, I thought, and I just wanted to ask you, like, it is flu season, so for all of you guys, even the anti-vaxxers out there, they're saying that this is like the year that you should definitely, if never, like, you should definitely get vaccinated. But I don't know if that's like a PR campaign for getting the flu shot.
No.
Or if they have some evidence.
Here's the thing is, I was just talking about this with Mert, and Mert is a med student, and, like, you know, I usually don't get med shots, not because I think the government is injecting me with, like, gay serum, which, by the way, they have. It's great. It's more that I'm just, like, lazy and irresponsible.
I know.
I got the lecture, which is like, it's all about herd immunity. So everyone that gets the flu shot, you're shutting down the, like, mutation, because if everyone around you has it, it's mutating inside of every person, and then you're essentially making it more drug resistant by just having it. And so if you get the flu shots, any of you listening out there, then you're not contributing to the, like, highly mutagenic aspects of the flu.
And so you're not, like, getting babies and the elderly sick around you from not getting it. Like, it's basically, if everyone gets it, it's like you're creating, like, a net of, like, immunity to save the more vulnerable ones in our society.
I think that they get the concept. I think the anti-vaxxers understand that concept, but they think that the science is not so good and that it also has bad side effects. Like, I think that they understand the concept of why you would
Well, I guess I was more like talking to the people that are on the fence about it because, you know, I feel like a lot more people are probably like me and Evan where we're just kind of like irresponsible.
Yeah,
And like,
it's got to be more convenient.
yeah.
Like, I wish that I could, frankly, I know this is crazy, but I really wish I could give it to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
EpiPen style,
Yeah.
I do sort
no,
of.
EpiPen
Maybe a
are
drone
scary.
that
No,
flies
it
around.
should be just like an app update. Like you could just like, like you just put your finger on the home button and like you're just like vaccinated.
What if it was a patch? What if
Or
I had a
that
patch?
would make more sense. Yeah. That'll happen before.
It's got to be
registration.
easier, though. I feel like in the future, these things are going to have to be as easy as that, you know, just to ensure.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to have updates because there's going to be CRISPR viruses. Like,
Whoa.
people designing CRISPR viruses, airborne CRISPR viruses, and they're going to be like, get the update now! You have 1 hour! And
Oh my
there's just going to
God.
be fleets of drones flying around. You stick your arm in the window, and one lands on your hand like a little, like, mosquito, and it's like...
Yeah.
And then it's like beep beep, turns green, and you're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Oh my God.
You're resistant. That's like the 5th time that's happened today.
Your like heartbeat is just like.
Yeah,
You
it's
get
like
it in time, and your neighbor just turns into like a
they don't get it soon enough and they just like turn white or like a pile of worms. Wait, was it Limitless where like, or no, it was Looper?
Looper.
It'll be like that, but that's terrifying, especially with like cryptocurrency and just like cyber security issues. Like the society that's like getting like used to and dependent on vaccines is also the same society that is like has like crazy like digital warfare going on and like.
I completely forgot about the Bloomberg story. That's like the
No,
biggest story.
Well, I have like 2 stories that
segue.
lead right into this. Like I said, Japan, like doing the asteroid thing, they also are like passing some laws to allow gene editing with CRISPR. So that's just like, I don't know, not much else to that other than like the United States and China has been the only one really effing around with it. So Japan's about to start noodling around with CRISPR. That's pretty much it. But yeah, the Bloomberg story is huge, which is that we all got spied on, or the big tech companies got spied on because China inserted these microscopic little communication devices, like things that interact with the motherboard and like can download data and just spy on anything.
Like this size.
Yeah. The picture on Bloomberg is very startling. It's like a fingertip, and you see like a little tiny thing, and they're like, "This is all that was there." It's like just a tiny freckle.
It's like
on
a gold. It's like a tiny gold nugget.
And they said it was disguised as like a thing that's on like a really common object on a circuit board or like on a motherboard, like basically like a bush. If you want, it's just like a thing and so it was like all this text squeezed into this tiny thing. And it was on the motherboard, right? It was the motherboards, right?
Yeah. It was like
Google, or no, wait.
Google, Apple, Amazon.
Wait, was it Google? I don't know.
Not Google.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Apple, Amazon, a few other people, and...
basically, so this is called a supply chain attack, right?
Yes.
So what they did was the Chinese, or at least what Bloomberg is reporting. So this is first of all, I'll say that this is just reported today. And Apple and Amazon have both issued like serious denials.
The companies in this story have denied the reporting. So, we published those companies' statements in full on the website and in the story. And what I can say is this, which is our story speaks for itself. We have robust sourcing, including having conducted interviews with more than 100 people. We have 17 sources with direct knowledge of the events described in the story. Those include senior officials throughout the U.S. government, and that also include senior executives, within senior insiders within Amazon and Apple.
But also they have clearly Bloomberg has the chip. And anyway, so the important thing is that like they injected it into the supply chain. So this company, Sun Microsystems, or not Sun Microsystems.
It's Supermicro, right?
Supermicro.
Yeah, it's got a really funny name.
It's Supermicro.
That.
They make a lot of
That's like evil corp. Like,
I have personally owned Supermicro motherboards. They're extremely common.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. Is like if you want a good server or whatever they were buying these for, they're like that was the company to go to. It was like no doy.
And so, like, Supermicro is an American company, but they were contracting the manufacturing of their motherboards in China, which is, again, totally almost exclusively that's what happens.
yeah.
And the Chinese spies just got into these factories, and they made this, like, specific chip, which, by the way, this chip is almost a computer in itself.
Wow.
Like, it has memory, it has, like, controllers, it has everything, and it's, like, the size of a grain of rice.
Wow.
And they just injected it onto the board. And like nobody knew, just nobody knew, and it is just.
Say it's just like a backdoor to everything.
Pumping them out. They're just pumping them out of the factories, like. And
no.
I
don't think that's what I thought it was when I just like
skimmed
the story title.
They're not like.
Nah, it was basically a few like specific targets. Like we know where this is going, and so we want to plant one little grain of rice computer on this one server going to Apple, this one server going to Amazon, because this thing it is close to like customer data, things like that.
That's right. And it's crazy to think about because like Apple and Amazon specifically, like especially Amazon, like Amazon's AWS servers power almost all the web. Like when the AWS servers went down on the East Coast a few years ago, almost every website was like not working for a little while. And the crazy thing is that like what they said in the story is that this was not designed to like scoop up huge amounts of customer data. This was like a laser guided attack to like get into the infrastructure and steal like specific secrets.
And they got him.
And presumably they got him.
Probably. This was 2014, 2015, right?
Yeah.
That this all happened. Yeah.
And it's interesting because like if you think back to the last year or so, there have been some like we know that Russia was obviously hacking elections, but then like China got bundled in.
Guys, I got a leaf blower I think going on here. It's like dark outside. What's this guy doing?
Whoa.
Like it's nighttime.
Is it the Chinese government trying to censor our
Oh
conversation?
wow. Yeah, I think so. See if he's wearing a mask.
He's wearing a cowboy hat.
If you know, he would.
He's trying to blend in as an American. It's too obvious.
But wait, I think it's good now. So wait, you were saying.
Yeah, what were we saying?
I was saying that like that like we've had all this attention on Russia.
AWS. Yeah.
But then also China got bundled in there, but nobody really said like what happened with China in the past, And so I feel like the government knew about this and they were just like not there. I mean,
or like if it was potential.
I'm not saying that it's like a conspiracy from the government to cover it up. It's just like it's a cybersecurity thing, and so like the Pentagon was probably like, holy shit.
We've got like enough things to worry about. Like that would have made it like way more complicated when it was all coming out. But yeah, go ahead. What?
Oh, well, I was just gonna say, what do you think they wanted?
Very, very specific.
State secrets. I mean, like also like access to like critical infrastructure. Like power plants, that sort of thing.
I think they just want to build. I mean, that's what they've been doing, right? Is just like shaping their, like manifesting the West over there as far as like urban or just the industrialization that's been happening in just like the last several years, right? I feel like they just want maybe to figure out how we actually are so successful.
Do you think, no. Do you think that...
No?
Do you think that... I think just everybody always spies on everybody. That's just like the name of the game. Like, you fucking spy. Like, we are probably doing the same type of thing to other countries, like big media companies.
Well, we do. So in the article, they talk about like, so the reason why China is able to do this is because they manufacture like a gross majority of the computer systems that are out there. But since we don't make the computer systems, what we do, or what our intelligence agencies do, is intercept packages on their way to different places and then put our little spy chips in those. So we definitely do it, and like it's pretty much known that we do it. But it's sort of like the scale of it and Usually
They just have a strategic position. It's almost like a position on like a battlefield. Like
right. If you're playing Civ, if you're playing Civ 4 and you're making all of the computers, then this is how you get your advantage.
So do you think it's like a big deal when, like, over there, when they talk about America spying on China or Japan or any of these other countries, whether Russia, like, are they like, oh, the Americans, it's like a big, the equivalent of like a Bloomberg story, or is it just like well known? Is that what you're saying?
What are you saying?
No, because I don't think we do this I just don't think we do it. Like, when we intercept like, the government is known to, like, intercept laptops on the way to people. And so, like, we spy on people for intelligence, and it's, like, very different to sort of be like, we built a backdoor into, like, everything in the U.S.
Yeah, that's really crazy.
Yeah, but don't you think that we have, like, backdoors into, like, for instance, what's that giant Chinese social media company that's basically, that's like...
Weibo?
Yeah.
That one, I feel like why wouldn't we put grains of rice computers on their servers to find out what they know,
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, that's a target, that's a very targeted attack. But
I just feel like we'd that's like, isn't that the job of like the CIA and the NSA, just to like flipping spy on people as much as you can get away with?
That's a good question, because you would think that they just are responding to issues, but I mean, who's to say that they're not just, like you're saying, like just are like twiddling their thumbs and just like sticking their nose into things just because they're trying to find intelligence.
you should watch the Stuxnet documentary that was on Netflix a little while ago, because like the U.S. like definitely collaborated with Israel to create the Stuxnet virus.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I mean, yeah, that was a virus specifically designed to break Iran's nuclear stuff.
Whoa.
It's crazy because like Stuxnet was like wild, like crazy code when what is it called? Symantec like found it, they were like, oh my god, this is crazy shit. So yeah, we do it. I mean, we definitely do it. But
it's just like an ongoing like battleships game.
Oh, here's my big question too. Why? So like, I watched a video of the guy who wrote this article. I watched like a 20-minute long like webcast that he was just like breaking it down and answering questions. And he was like, he saw that Apple and Amazon had released these very lengthy statements being like, you idiots, this, like, they're really, really long answers. Now, like, this is so stupid, it's unfounded, I don't know what, like, you guys are dumb. And the author was just like, it was a journalist or whatever, he was just like, look, the work speaks for itself. We have so many credible sources in here. I don't know why they're saying this. Why do you think that Amazon and Apple, just no matter what, they will never admit to it, because like admitting to this is like
what else are they doing?
Because like they're companies that deal with like sensitive customer data. This sort of scandal would be like the only thing they can do is deny it. Like they can't even like apologize.
For Amazon specifically, I think for sure, because like there's tons of, I mean, everything is on there. Like people are storing sensitive medical records on Amazon servers. Like literally every kind of data is on Amazon. Apple, I'm a little surprised by,
Apple really does are really proud about how like secure their shit is, and how like they wouldn't answer the government whenever they wanted to open an iPhone. Remember, they're like, we will not. Our customers, their secrets are safe with us. But remember, like on the like iPhone, they make a big deal about how your like fingerprint data is stored on this like vault on this like
the secure enclave,
and stored inside the secure enclave.
It's just so like weaving the dream, like they're weaving the idea that they have completely secure encrypted networks.
Listen, I don't know. I am not a corporate comms person, so I'm not really 100% sure what the angle is on this one. But I feel like the story of Apple is like they're doing everything they can. Like they are choosing to make a product that is as secure as possible. I don't think that this invalidates it. I think that this is just like the Chinese are fucking crafty.
Yeah.
So
but they just have to deny it. I mean, sure.
It's just you have to.
I can't wait to find out what they took. Like what was revealed by doing that specific attack. I can't wait to find out. I hope we all do at some point.
Or maybe, I don't know, maybe they couldn't say anything about it, or like part of their agreement with the FBI when they did the investigation was like they couldn't even say that it ever existed. Just, like for the sake of like acknowledging it would give away some sort of detail that they didn't want to give away. I don't know. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, but my opinion is probably like they just want customer faith.
Well, they were found in the Department of Defense's data centers, the CIA's drone operations, and the onboard networks of Navy warships. So yeah, this was like a like an attack, like our military versus your military bullshit.
Yeah, cyber attack finally real.
I think the thing that is most
military grade
exciting about this story is that the fact that it's so tiny. Even if it was as big as like a thumb drive, this story would not nearly be as sexy.
Yeah, that's true.
No, because it's the whole sci-fi like.
It's like, ooh, whoa! The picture, the thumbnail, the literal fingernail of this story is so alluring.
Oh my god! So
I mean, it's terrifying. It's it's the thing that everyone has been like fearing about the idea of the future.
Yeah, it's undetectable.
What I will say is, like, I just did the macro photography for the iPhone review that we ran, and let me tell you, someone obsessed over this thumb. Like,
I'm
this
sure.
This is an obsessive thumb shot right here. It's like perfectly, like the light is perfectly reflective.
Shout out to Victor Prado.
Yeah, Victor Prado. You
wow.
Also, this guy's like fingerprint ridges are just like, oh man.
That's the perfect fingerprint model.
It's fucking ridge-licious on this guy's finger.
Yeah.
Like, looks a little gross, to be honest.
Yeah, I was like when you look at it, you think about like that little texture.
They really should have just like ASMR of what it might be like.
Like touch it.
Yeah.
Imagine that little chip tumbling down those ridges.
Yeah.
Ew.
I would love that, like a following shot as it came down.
Imagine that little box moving around like the satellite on that asteroid. Just
Can I Photoshop out that beautiful, perfect finger with just like a really gross finger and my finger?
I think my finger could do. I think I could have a good finger for this. I could do this.
No, well, of course, but let's get somebody with some like dirt on their nails. Really just throw it off a little bit.
Man, for the audience listening, let me tell you, for review photography, if you look close enough, a lot of people have nasty fingers when you go in those iPhone reviews.
Oh yeah,
bro, just take a look and it's out there.
I got in trouble for having hairy arms on a watch review one time.
No, I did the watch photography also, and I had to bring in 2 women to model the watch. No joke.
Yeah,
because
people don't like hairy arms. Hairy arms is not futuristic.
Yeah.
Not future. Like, yeah, we're supposed to be like 90s aliens. Of course, not good.
Somehow, I mean, maybe hair will have a comeback, but
You think so though? I don't know.
I don't know. Some people love it,
How much would it cost to get my entire body waxed?
Good question. Or lasered.
Or lasered? Oh my god! You'd have to go in. You have to go in for like 10 years.
I wonder if you feel like very like what would that feel like? Because when you buzz your head, it's a very specific feel that the air has all the time. I've heard this from people. I mean, I've never buzzed my hair, but I guess, yeah, you would know if you have. And then imagine just like your eyebrows being gone, and then everything.
Oh my god. Not the head. I wasn't thinking of the head. Also, yes, I have buzzed my head.
Do you guys know what my conspiracy theory is about this whole story?
Hit me.
Yeah.
Well, Bloomberg is owned by who? Michael Bloomberg. He's one of those guys. He's just capitalist to the bone. He's been funding this paper without much affair from him for a few years now, building its credibility, hiring the best journalists, etc., so people start to trust this as a credible source and authority. At just the right moment, he inserts this story delivered by this credible news source that China, the place where we get all of our our wonderful gadgets is going to put spy shit in all of our tech. And so we need to, like, playing right into Trump's plan.
We have a tremendous problem with theft of intellectual property with China. We have a lot of other problems with China. We have primarily trade problems. And as you know, they're having a much more difficult time now. I don't want them to have a difficult time.
China, we gotta...
So you're saying that this story is Michael Bloomberg's tiny chip. He's injecting into the information supply chain.
Yeah, like, maybe. I just think it's like, if your goal is to make us stop trusting China and stop trading with them and to, like, be more closed off, just isolationist in general. Like, I'm just saying this as, like, play it, like, just one vote towards don't trade with China anymore, don't trust them, etc.
I mean, like, TBH, like, I feel like all of these seemingly, like, disparate events that are happening that are very monumental, like, how could they not all be related in some way? Like,
that's the core of every conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
That's the golden nugget.
Well, I guess the only thing that makes me think this, though, is just, like, if Apple and Amazon are, like, telling the truth, like, if, like, this was like they were being extremely, extremely misinformed, and this is like maybe the journalists just have, like, a bunch of actors around them, like, showing them these tiny chips that don't actually do anything. Like, it's just a bunch of, like, just dummy shit happening on computer screens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, whoa.
Mind blown. I mean, I don't know. I kind of, like, think of the silver lining. Like, I really wish that we would manufacture more electronics here, not because of, like, isolationism, anti-globalism, or anything like that. I just feel like it would be tight to know how much an iPhone would cost if the people making it were making more than, like, 25 cents an hour.
Here's the problem. A lot of the reason that infrastructure is outsourced is because this is, we don't want to ruin our own land and our own topsoil and our own water supply. So we just ruin everybody else's, whether it's India or China or Africa and,
or
like,
the beach.
Or the
beach. Tie it back in.
So really, that's, like, the real deal.
Yeah. No, I mean, it would be cool. It'd be cool if we made our own computers here and if we could do it without ruining the environment. And like, yes.
Maybe that's the incentive. That was, like, what I was going to say. If it is, we're not going to shit in our own home. So that would force us to, like, figure out how to, like, actually clean up manufacturing. Because it's a completely outdated model just in the way everything. Like,
can you imagine? Your iPhone would be like $7,000.
Wow.
I bet you, like, people would hold on to their iPhones for a little bit longer.
Yeah. Wow. Isn't that amazing?
Question. Oh wait, I forgot the question. Should we end this?
We should end this. I gotta go to sleep. All right, my computer is, like, legit about to die. So
Mine did too.
I will read this Kickstarter book, and then we'll talk about Star Cream.
Okay. Thanks for watching the show, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Give us some comments. What you
Make
like?
a conspiracy theory about us.
Yeah.
Should we be
like, are we part?
I don't know. Yeah.
If we want views, then we should.
This is like a real folk art.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Please make conspiracy theories.
We'll be back next week. We'll be back on SEO show. Maybe I wanted to do a video SEO show. Because, like, I feel like, I don't know why not. But these take a long time to edit. So I gotta do, like, a really, like,
we gotta get them short.
I gotta do a more lackluster job on the edit. Although it's hard for me not to try a little bit.
We gotta get these shorter too. I mean, no one's gonna watch a 1 hour video.
We gotta cut ourselves off so that I'm gonna edit out the bad stuff. If I'm bored by anything, I'm cutting it out. I'm letting the cream come to the top. This might be a 5 minute. This might be a Fox style We film like hours and hours of footage, and we cut it down to 3 minutes.
A D-splainer. We're gonna D-splain the news.
You're gonna have to pay us on our Patreon so that you can watch the unreleased clips. So yeah.
Ooh, yes. Okay.
Okay.
Later.
Thanks for Thursday. Hey.
Uh,
Bye.